what I'm saying?
This is so impromptu, but we're going to try it. So, yes, we're talking to Cece, like avid biker. How you doing?
How you doing?
Introduce yourself.
I'm CC, former Peacemaker, motorcycle club president, and Piper, she's one of my colleagues that rode a lot of places with.
Yes, how long you been riding?
It's probably going on about 15, 20 years now. I started real late.
Late?
Yeah.
You think? And it's been 20 years?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, a lot of the people like them guys, they've been riding since they was teenagers.
Oh, so tell us a little bit about why you started so late, or what got you into it. Like,
well, it's like when people back in my day, they was riding the mini bikes and stuff. And my mom was like, "You better not get one. I don't care if somebody buy you one, you better not have one." So I never even had a mini bike until I was grown and I bought my first motorcycle. And it was a Suzuki 750, GS 750. And about 6 months later, I ended up tricking it out, putting 4-in-1 exhaust on it, taking the fairing off, and then I took my first solo trip on it to Denver, Colorado.
oh, after a couple months?
Well, about a year, because I joined the Peacemakers before I even had a motorcycle. So those guys taught me everything I know.
So how'd you do that?
Well, the rule that they had is that you could join the club, but you had to get a motorcycle within 6 months of being in the club.
That makes sense.
And those guys were like Pops and Wow Man. Those guys were instrumental in me getting what it was, the kind of bike that I could travel with. Because I mean, we were one of the travelingest clubs. I mean,
and
to this day, I would say,
Pennsylvania, right? Pittsburgh,
right. And pretty organized. So
oh, that's good. That's
right.
good.
So we had like breakout dates. We had mandatory trips, fundraisers, just things that made you a little bit more valuable to the club than just, a body. Because we know a lot of clubs that just throw colors on people just, to get money or trophies.
Yeah.
But we made 4 mandatory trips per season.
Okay.
And every 2 years, the club would pay for one of our trips.
Oh, that's
gas,
good. That's good.
accommodation, dinner, breakfast.
Yeah, because what's dues for, right?
Right, exactly.
Motorcycling, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was my first solo trip to Denver, Colorado and back. And I've been riding ever since. Pretty much riding ever since. So we were just talking a little while ago about fear, like the fear of riding. Like, what does that? How does that grip you, or how does that hold you? What does it do for you today? Well, when you first start out, a lot of people, especially the younger people that, are getting into the sport, they don't really respect the machine. It's like a new toy type of thing, And it's like probably mostly all of us feel that way at one time until we get that close call that brings us back to reality. So when people ask me, they're like, when you go and try cross country, like I've been, on the road across the desert and everything, I'm like, yeah, you're afraid, but that's what keeps you alive. So, I mean, I've never been out west before. And just so happens, there's a road runner who runs across the road, in front of me, like out of nowhere, That's not something that you could be ready for.
Yes,
you
you're
know
like,
what I mean?
wait, I'm thinking this is just a cartoon. It's real. They're there.
Right, they're out there,
They're out there.
And, especially in, the plains, there's just like a lot of open range.
And
where
they're
you
there.
you can, run into a steer, that's crossing the road on some of these here, passes that they have out there in the Rockies or whatever. So, I mean, I'm just saying a healthy fear or a healthy anxiety is what keeps you alive, I think.
Yes, I agree. I think that's very necessary, because again, you don't know the power that's underneath you until you get that close call, because again, you're wiggling, you're looking, you're wheeling, you're doing all these different things, because it is fun. Don't get us wrong, it's a nice sport, but at the same time, there's a danger, there's an element to it that we really have to be safe
You
in
have to be
regards
on at
yes.
all times.
Yes,
You
yes.
know?
Because if you were doing something else when that road runner shut out, that road runner would have won.
That's
Definitely.
right.
So, what y'all don't know is he has these annual poker runs and this annual ride. Talk about that. Yo, no, CC, I'm telling you, man. And then, y'all gotta see his baby. We're gonna go meet his baby in a minute. But tell us about that.
Well, we've been doing the poker run for going on 17 years. We missed last year and the year before that, but we planning on doing it this year. And basically, it's you know, you start out with a card. You know, we give everybody a card. It's only $10. You keep that card throughout the ride. And when we get back, whoever has the highest poker hand wins whatever money was collected. Usually the prize money is at least $200.
Guess who's won before?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Her
On my
and
first one!
several of her colleagues,
Yes!
too. As a matter of fact, the one that we're waiting for now, she's won twice. She's won twice. So, but yeah, we usually, our first one is usually a tri-state ride. You know, you cover 3 states in one day. And
that's right.
And then we have the bar owner that where we started it at. He determines who has the best poker hand. So he opens the envelopes for everybody, and at the end of the night, he even gives us free drinks.
Yes.
Gives us a free drink for
while we're waiting for the winner.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So we plan on it usually closer to the end of September. You know, we'll be sending out messages and everything, and you know, if you put it on your thing, anybody in the tri-state area can
You want to come? I'm telling you,
we
it's
might
really
even
fun.
be coming your way where you might meet us.
Yes.
You know,
and loop around.
Right. You know.
That'll be good.
So yeah, I mean, follow this girl because she's going. She done been everywhere. She don't play around. She's an iron butt champion.
Now, what about that annual ride to Maryland?
Deep Creek, Maryland ride is
wait till y'all hear this.
It's usually the end of October, which is my birthday, and I've been doing my jump in the lake ride probably for about 17 years straight. We missed the last 2 years, of course, but we're planning on doing it again, and it's a ride from Pittsburgh to Deep Creek, Maryland, where me and some other brave souls jump into the lake.
How do you jump into the lake?
We take our clothes off and get in the lake. Yeah. Well, I'm usually the one, but we've had some brave people in the past, in the more recent past, jump into. They strip down to the skivvies. Usually, like
October.
I said, it's the end of October.
The end of October into November.
And, you know, most of the time it's doable. I mean, I've been doing it long enough where it's like if I rake the whole 100 and something miles down there, I'm doing it. So it doesn't really matter if it's already, unless of course it's like actually raining.
Yeah.
But
we're already wet.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know, I haven't had the occasion to actually do it while it's raining. Now, I have gone there in times when we left out in the morning and there was still snow over on the side of the grass. But by the time we usually got there about 1 o'clock, and so, you know, it was doable.
It's better.
You know?
Y'all have to ride with this guy. I'm trying to tell you. Let's meet his baby. Tell us about it. Let's see.
This is the Concourse 14. This is the original, and this is his twin brother over here. That's the ABS model.
You see?
Right. They're actually the same exact bike, except for he has ABS.
ABS brakes. You said this is the original?
Yeah, this is the original newer model. They've been making Concourses since 1986, but they changed them in 2008.
Okay.
So these both were 2008 models, and they're still making them now. I mean, they're making them, you know, I think all the way up until 2016 or 18.
And this suits your riding style. Why?
Well, they do everything. I mean, it's a Ninja-based engine. You know, it's a Ninja engine in there. 4-in-1 exhaust. We got 2 brothers on there. Exhaust. And power windshield. And a high end is just as high as the Ninja, just about.
Yes. And so your power windshield raises up and down, like it comes up and.
Gives you wind protection.
Get these down and it's crazy because I never knew how much I was talking. It's like, what? Hold on, you said how much?
Yes.
It keeps a little bit of wind off of you. Now, it also comes with a bigger one, actually a taller one that I have, but I like this one because it gives you just the right amount of
coverage.
Yeah, because the other one, it's a little taller, so when you're riding behind it, you get a little bit of buffeting in your helmet.
And you don't like that.
You can't lower it any further. With this one, you can lower it enough where you get a lot of the air right here.
Yeah.
But when you put it up, it comes up to about right here, and it usually goes up over your
the
head,
top.
especially for rain purposes.
Yes. So I noticed too the lights at the bottom.
Those are my running lights that I use for backcountry road nights.
You see that? And so that projects. Oh, that's in the daytime. Yes. Nice. And so, do you do a lot of night riding?
Not as much as I used to, but nowadays, if you're traveling, sometimes you're gonna be riding at night.
So do you like I noticed that yours are yellow, but his are white. Do you like the tint, or it doesn't project that tint?
No, it doesn't. No, there's no blue tint. There's more like a yellow tint to it, but it covers enough for the side peripheral, vision for me. That's why I put them that low, because now his lights actually work, but these here two little running lights work too.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are usually on the headlights. Got really good high beams, and the other thing about this bike and the Concourse itself is it's so versatile. There's not a sport bike we've run into that can
do it. This is the sport touring,
yeah,
so it's like
right.
If you took those bags off, it's gonna get busy. But then you put the bags on and get you, like you said, cross country back up into Canada and everywhere else.
Yeah, it does, and the range on it, as far as a tank of gas, is usually about 240 miles.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
And your reserve is, I think, another half a gallon or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's a 5.8, almost 6 gallon tank.
That is excellent. So, is this an antenna for your Bluetooth?
Well, this is just actually an accessory, but a lot of people think it's my radar detector.
Oh, so have you ever got stopped? And they say, what do you have? Because radar detectors are supposed to be illegal, right?
Well, in certain states.
Okay.
Not everywhere, but no, nobody's ever questioned that. I mean, I'm trying to remember. I've only been pulled over on this bike twice.
Oh, good.
Once was in the Keys, and me and Rodgers, we was running away from a storm that was coming across, and we was jumping because I don't know if you've been there, but the lanes are like one lane each direction.
Yes, and you got to get around.
Right.
Or when the cars are coming up, you can hurry and get around and go.
Their passing lanes are actually on the right. But we was on it, and so we was jumping in around cars because the lightning and going across the ocean. We was just like, look, we don't want to
get the hell out of here. Yes.
The very last car, like I said, we was jumping in and out. The very last car that we jumped behind was a police car. We scared the hell out of that guy.
Oh, because you came up on him.
Yeah,
we probably saw these two.
Yeah, we didn't pass him. We came right behind him. We had all our lights on and everything. So he let us by, and then he jumped behind us and
turned
the
his lights on.
Yeah. But
he had to let you go because he saw the storm.
He didn't actually. He pulled us over, and his partner, there was another guy, another trooper that pulled up, and we told him, he's like, look, we left the Keys too late. We was actually trying to make it back to Miami. And his partner, the guy that showed up, he pulled up on his phone the storm. He said, yeah, you guys is getting ready to get wet, you know.
Yes.
So the guy, the initial guy, that he said there's a gas station about 5 miles up the road. I mean, we left our license and everything with him. You know, 5 miles up the road, put your rain gear on and we'll meet you up there.
And they gave y'all tickets up there?
No, they just gave us a warning.
Oh, got you. That was good.
Yeah,
That's
they
good.
just gave us a warning because the dude who pulled up, he actually lived closer to where we were going.
Oh, got
And
you.
he showed us on the radar that we better get going. So it started raining. We was like about 25-30 miles outside of where our hotel was, and it started raining, and the people, the way that they drive down there on the expressway,
Oh my, terrible.
man, and it was wet too.
Terrible.
It was like crazy.
Yes, you're like, I'm going to just pull over right here and just wait because, they like no regard. And they're all over. And
So-
every time they say Florida's the Sunshine State, but every time I'm there, it rains. It rains. I'm like, where? Is this not for me? Yes.
So the conclusion of that ride is that we got 5 miles away from our hotel, and we're going down the road that's sort of like Palm Boulevard, you know, but it's about 1 o'clock at night. Nobody's out there. This big orange construction, the big ones, you know, like that. The big orange.
Oh, the cones?
No, the big barrels.
Okay.
Barrels.
Oh, yes, the orange and white ones. Yes.
Me and Roger, we was just, we was all tired and glad that it came out of nowhere.
You said 5 miles away.
5 miles away.
And it was blowing because of the storm.
Yep. The front of the barrel, because it was already in the road, instead of hitting it broadside, the open end clamped on and threw me down right off the bike, right in the middle of the road. Bam, like instantly. Because
you
it went
rode
right,
into it.
and it was
into
still,
the hole.
Yeah, it was still on my bike. It was the barrel was still on my bike. When I got up to try to pick up the bike, that's when I had shoulder pain. And Roger and another guy came out of nowhere.
And
we got the bike out of the road.
But the bike was okay because you weren't moving.
The bike was okay. Yeah, the bike was okay.
But you're like, but my shoulder.
Turns out I didn't get it worked on. I didn't even know that it was broken.
So, it was a hairline fracture.
Well, it was painful. I got a pretty good first aid kit. You know, I had Vicodins and Oxys and everything. And Roger helped me. You know, I had road rash here. But I mean, it was like I was just laying in the middle of the road for about a second, and then that's when I got up and I tried to pick the bike up, and that's when I knew something was on my shoulder.
Oh my God!
But we rode all the way back, and we stayed at Shadow's house on the way back
in Georgia.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him, we spent the night at her house, and she didn't even know that my shoulder was. I didn't know it was broken then either.
You were
until
just
about 3 months later, when I actually got operated on. I didn't know. It was just getting worse and worse. I just thought it was, a sprain or something, whatever. But yeah, it was broken.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. See what happens? Like, that's insane.
And,
insane.
and this is after riding for a lot of years.
Yeah. And then, like, to make it so to make it so close to your destination, like you said, it just rolled out, and you're just like, what the, and then it's just.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I mean, there's no way that I could have avoided it because it was.
Sometimes they say that makes it worse. Trying to.
Well, I think if either one of us has seen it, and more than likely what had happened was it probably blew across the road just as we were coming up on it, and if I hadn't hit it that way, it probably would have banged into the bike somehow. Yeah. But it was already pointed that way. And I would have hoped if it had kept rolling, you could have. Or if it was broadside, if it had hit a broadside, it might have been a little bit different, because it's like a cone and stopped any traction that I had. Plus, it was wet. But
that's terrible.
That's probably about the worst accident that I've had. I mean, I've had, the bike has gone down a few times, but I haven't actually crashed into anything.
Oh, that's good.
But of course, we all have close calls
but
every
that
time
fear
we
that
go.
you were talking about that keeps you alert and keeps you doing what it is that you need to do to be attentive when you're riding.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's things as simple as like, you know, going through intersections. I never blow through intersections, whether I have the light or not.
Yes, you have to look.
You got to be ready that somebody is going to
come through it.
Yeah.
Whether it's their turn or not.
And they do.
They do.
A lot of them are like, you know, them people that pull up to the intersection so fast that they're like halfway out.
Anyway, you're like, you might as well kept going. Yeah.
So, but anyway, I mean, I don't want to use up all your time.
No, that was beautiful. I appreciate you. The poker run, when he puts out the flyer and everything out, I'm going to put it out. And then his ride to Deep Creek, Maryland, late October for his birthday. That's going to be awesome too. I'll talk to you later. Running your motor with Piper.